Hey guys, okay, so I have an updated October TBR for you guys, and I feel like this happens a lot, but I have basically taken out about half of my reading for this month for two reasons. A, I just realized that I cannot read as many books as I was hoping to this month. Just time got away from me and I had other things that I was doing, so I realized that that was a little too ambitious of a pile. But I also wanted to add 4 more books to it, and I knew that I definitely couldn't read 4 more books in addition to all the other books that were already a little too ambitious. So I took out about half of my reading and I put 4 books back into the pile. So I want to show you guys the books that I was originally planning on reading that I'm still going to read, and then the new books, and yeah. So, where are they? Okay, first is one I'm reading right now, and that's Death of a Gossip, which is the first Hamish Macbeth mystery. I'm enjoying this so far. It's a little bit slower going than I was expecting, but what I mean by that is that when I'm reading it, I'm really enjoying it and I'm reading it quickly. But when I put it down, I don't really have a very strong desire to go back to it. And it's nothing against MC Beaton's writing or anything. I am really enjoying the book, but it's just kind of a slower paced one, I guess. But I am really enjoying it, which was the important thing, because I was worried, since I love the TV show so much, that the books were going to be a bit of a disappointment, and so far they aren't. So that's really good, and I will talk more about this in my October wrap-up. I might do a separate review, but I'm not really sure. So, I don't know. We'll see. And then I'm still going to be reading The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins. I actually got maybe 40 pages into this one, but then I wanted something a little less dense, so I put it down and picked up Hamish Macbeth. But I will definitely get back to this soon, because I really want to read this month. And then I will still be reading, also, I will still be reading the issue of The Happy Reader that I was going to be reading with Woman in White. This is the only issue of this that I own, and it just looks great. The first half of it is interviews with Dan Stevens, just, I think, talking about books and maybe a little bit about his acting career and stuff, and he's one of my favorites, so that's exciting. And then the second half of it is all Woman in White articles and comparisons and stuff, and it just looks really great. And this is my first literary magazine, so that will be a really interesting read. And I'm sorry if I'm like kind of whisper talking. My mom is upstairs napping, which is why I'm down here. So that's why my voice isn't, that's why I'm not speaking as loudly as I normally do. And then I have Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which I will still be rereading because I really don't want to get off track with my Harry Potter rereads. So this is still on the list too. And I will again be listening to the audiobook and then rewatching the film. And the good thing about Harry Potter is that it's probably going to take me half a day to read that, so that's fine. Which some of you may be like, I could read that in like 2 hours, but I'm a very slow reader. And then I will still be reading And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, because I was trying to see if I could get away with reading this next year instead of this month, but there really is just no more appropriate time to read it than October. And also, what was I going to say? The adaptation, the new adaptation miniseries that's coming out is coming out, I think, 2 days after Christmas. So I really want to make sure that I have read this by then. And Aidan Turner's going to be in it, and I think Charles Dance is too, and a couple other people. I looked at the list the other day, and it was like, I knew probably, I don't know, 10 of the 15 actors in it or something. And then I still want to read Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. Sorry, it's much brighter in camera than it is with me looking at it, but I don't know. I still want to read this and listen to it. but I cut out the Modern Austen Project adaptation of it by Val McDermid, and I'm just going to read that in a few months when I have separated myself from this one, so that I don't accidentally judge that one based on how much I love this one. And then I also want to read The Moore's Account still by Layla Lamy. This was on the Man Booker long list this year. Unfortunately, it didn't make it to the short list, but that's okay, because I mean, this is just one of the ones on that list that I wanted to read the most, so I'm still going to read it, even if it didn't make the short list. And I think the winner is actually going to be announced on Tuesday, and I won't have finished this by then, but that's okay, because it didn't make the short list anyway. But I will be very interested to see what does win, and whether or not it was one of the ones that I was really interested in reading. The only other one on this list that I'm 100% dying to read is Year of the Runaways by Sanjeev Sahota, and I think I'm going to order that from Book Depository, maybe for Christmas or something, and I'll read that hopefully next year. And then the other ones I'll probably just get from the library or something. I have been on hold for The Green Road for, I think when I signed up I was like 17th, and now I'm like 6th in line, so I could get that before the year is finished, but I kind of doubt it. I'll probably get it in January and read it then. So yeah, still reading that one. And then the editions that I have, the first one I started today, and I will be continuing that in the immediate future, and that is The Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien. And actually, I'll just go ahead and show you all of them. Well, all except one of them. I'm going to be reading all of these, because the inspiration for this is that AMC is showing the Hobbit films. Well, they're showing the Hobbit extended editions right now, and that was, or the other two weren't that big a deal, because the other two have been out on DVD for a while, but the big deal about the third one, Battle of the Five Armies, is that, and I didn't even know this when I bought my ticket, but the extended edition for that DVD isn't out for another month, so whoever has tickets to this on Tuesday is going to get to see the extended edition of the last film a month before anybody else, so that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm very excited for that, except it's kind of bad because one of my friends is also going, but she lives several hours away from me. She's just going to one in her town, but it's really bad because we keep Skyping and we're so excited that we're seeing it, but at the same time, two of, like, something unfortunate happens to one of her favorite characters and something unfortunate happens to one of my favorite characters. And I don't want to say who or what, because just in case you still haven't seen the Hobbit films or read the book, I don't want to say. But it stinks. And we keep saying, like, we're like, okay, even though we're excited about this, like, can we see this again? Can we watch this happen again? And I don't know, we just have so much fun, because we're just like, no, our characters, bad things happening. But still, I mean, it'll be fun. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, that was the inspiration behind reading these, because I've already seen Unexpected Journey and also Desolation of Smaug, and Battle of the Five Armies is on Tuesday, so that'll be so much fun. And so yeah, I just didn't really want to leave Middle-earth yet, but I didn't want to go back and reread The Hobbit so soon, because I just read it last year, like, not even, I read it probably 10 months ago, so I didn't want to reread it again so soon, so I wanted to go ahead and pick these up. And I was going to pick these up at the beginning of next year anyway, but then I realized I didn't want to be reading these and reading Game of Thrones at the same time, but the sixth season of Game of Thrones is going to be coming out in April, so I need to get one of those books read per month starting in January, and I really didn't want to be reading those and these at the same time, but I really wanted to read these in, like, the autumn or winter time, so I didn't want to then read these after I finish Game of Thrones, because that will be like April or May. So that was my inspiration for just kind of saying to heck with half of my TBR this month and going ahead and reading these. And so far, I'm not disappointed. I'm 50 pages into this and loving it. I've seen all the films, and I love all the films, and I can't believe it's taken me this long to read these. But also, I just got these editions of these last Christmas. So yeah, I'm very excited about this. And I actually found an audio online that was, it's not done by the guy who does The Hobbit, unfortunately. He does have recordings of The Lord of the Rings, but unfortunately his recordings were all checked out from Overdrive or the library. It's Rob Inglis, and I loved his his narration of Hobbit, especially his Gandalf voice was awesome. So I was kind of sad that I couldn't find it. But then when I looked on YouTube, this guy named Phil, I want to say his name's Phil Dragash or something, does readings of The Lord of the Rings, and I'm not sure if he does it professionally or if he just does it on his own, but it's really cool because his version of it also has the same audio inserts as the original, but I started listening to someone else's narration, and it could have been the original, that also had these little background audio things in it, and for some reason they were really distracting in that audio, but in this one that I'm listening to now, it's fine. And I think it's because in that other one they like cut out little lines, like just half lines and stuff, and that was so distracting that I had to stop listening to it that way. But this one that I'm listening to now is awesome, and I really hope that he also does narrations of these two, because if I have to find someone else, that's going to be off-putting, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I'm loving this so far, and of course I'm probably going to watch the extended edition of the film once I'm finished with this. And I think what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to review each of them separately instead of reviewing them as a whole book, just because I feel like I'll have too much to say about each part to review them as a whole book, even though I'm kind of reading them all back to back as you would just a regular giant book. But yeah, so really enjoying this so far, and yeah, excited to read more today. And then the last thing is The Scarlet Pimpernel by Baroness Orczy. And what really made me want to read this month is there is another new literary web series out that is based on this, and it's called Masked, and it just came out, when was it? It's about 4 episodes old at this point, and it's pretty good so far. And I realized watching the first one that I knew generally what The Scarlet Pimpernel was about, but not really in detail at all. So I read the back of this, and I absolutely love this synopsis, and I'm just so excited to dive into this and get to know all these characters. And unfortunately, due to pop culture, I already know who the Scarlet Pimpernel is, which you're not supposed to know until, I think at least it's like halfway or 2/3 into the book, that's when you find out. And unfortunately, due to pop culture spoilers, I already know who the Scarlet Pimpernel is, but I'm hoping that that doesn't take away from my enjoyment. And it sounds so cool. And I feel like this will be good practice for when I read Count of Monte Cristo, because it takes place around the same time, and the story seems to have a very similar feel to it, but this is probably a 1/4 of the length of Count of Monte Cristo, so I feel like this will be a good practice run of reading something of this time period and stuff that is much shorter, so that'll be good. And yeah, I'm really enjoying the web series so far, and it'll be very interesting to see how I feel about the web series after I've read the book. So yeah, those are my additions, and I'm sorry this video took so long. It took way longer than I was hoping, but I did want to talk about the books that I'm still planning on reading this month, that I was originally planning on reading, and then talk about all the new ones that I was so excited about, especially Lord of the Rings. You guys have no idea how excited I am that I've finally gotten around to that. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of any of these. If you've read any of them, your thoughts. If you're just as excited about me reading Lord of the Rings as I am, I would love to know. But no spoilers if you don't mind on any of this, just in case anyone else hasn't read them, and I definitely have I think I'm only rereading one that I've read before. No, two, because of Harry Potter. But yeah, just in case other people haven't read some of these, and I definitely haven't read a lot of them. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.